So today we're going down to Timonium, Maryland, AutoNation to finally pick up Marcus's new car. This is what he's trading up from. What year is this?
2012.
2012 Silverado. What was it, the All-Star package or whatever? So we'll wait until we get to the dealer to show you what he's trading up to. It will be quite a different vehicle. It's quite dirty right now. He actually had it cleaned when he took it down for the trade-in workup and all that other stuff, but unfortunately we weren't able to bring the car home that day because there was all kinds of unforeseen issues. We'll just leave it at that for now. We'll talk about that later after we get the car and make sure it actually happens this time. So here it is, Marcus's new car, 2018 Camaro ZL1. Go ahead, rev it once or twice. So Marcus finally got to take delivery of his car after the fiasco that was the original buying process on Saturday. It's now Tuesday. We came down to AutoNation in Maryland on Saturday. He went through the entire purchase process, and when we went to leave in the car, the heater module apparently had crapped out in the car, and this entire strip of controls was completely out. The dealer ended up having to keep the car through yesterday, and they did the diagnosis to figure out what the problem was, and of course it had to be the module replaced, and they didn't have any here at the dealer he bought it from, so they had to have it shipped in from what was it, 165 miles away. So they had it overnighted and finally got in today, and they got the car fixed. So we came back down today for him to pick it up. So this is his first official drive. You can see the dash in the ZL1 is pretty intense. It's like being in a cockpit in this thing. And this is from a Hellcat owner's perspective. Okay, so here's one cool ass feature this car has that the Hellcats don't, that I wish they did. The damn thing actually measures the temperature of the tires, so you can gauge exactly how warm the tires are versus just trying to figure out based on the PSI that the tire's running at. This thing is way more sports car like, well, at least than a Charger Hellcat. Not sure about the Challengers, but from a Charger Hellcat's perspective, I mean, they got the motor and all that other stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still a Charger. It's still a Charger sedan. This thing is way more sports car like. It's got the I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's got the carbon fiber hood insert.
We're in sport mode, so it's be interesting to see if we change modes a little bit later on. It's a pretty firm ride in sport.
Have the camera in the way while you're trying to use the mirrors. No bueno. Shame the camera can't pick up the HUD from this angle. So after driving it for 5 minutes, what are your thoughts?
Loving every second of it.
The music would be problematic. YouTube's copyright police would be all over my ass.
Oh,
After
that's
we,
cool. The HUD's showing directional too.
I would assume it probably does, so you don't have to keep looking around. After we get on 95, after we get across into Delaware and it opens up a little bit, you'll probably be able to see if you can get some supercharger wine out of this thing. Because I got a feeling you're going to be getting on 83 and it's going to be traffic out the ass. Holy crap, there is no traffic. I can't believe it.
Bear left after 2 miles onto I-695 East.
We barely had time to hear the motor. It's like
I
you're
know.
already there.
Dude, wait. Wait. You just wait.
You're like, oh, you're there already.
Yeah, that's the problem with these cars, like the ZL1 and the Hellcats. It's like
Bear left after 2 miles onto
within seconds you're at 60 miles an hour. I mean, unless you're, routinely willing to break the speed limit.
You hear those smaller engine cars, revving for like,
Yeah.
30 seconds, and it's like,
Yeah,
we were
wait.
there for like 4 seconds.
Yeah, wait until the temperatures warm up. You get past your 500 miles and you start really getting into this thing, and you can see what the 0 to 60 times are. I mean, my best 0 to 60 time so far in my car, with the summer tires on, but not doing a burnout, not doing any kind of real prep, is 4.3 seconds, which is actually kind of slow for a Hellcat. I mean, on drag radials with proper prep and all that other shit, you're supposed to be able to get between like 3.2 to 3.5 seconds, or maybe 3.6. I think maybe 3.6 might be the fastest. I don't know. I'm actually amazed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon there's not really any traffic yet. I hear giddy laughter of joy.
I'm here to hear, brother.
So, having owned a Mustang previously, what's the comparison so far?
Oh,
You've
my
only been in the
goodness.
car for 10 minutes, but what's the comparison so far?
Yeah, well, so the 09 Mustang was, I think, it was like 280
Please bear next
horsepower, I think it was.
Left turn.
And then the very next year they came out with the 6-cylinder Mustang 300.
Right.
Of course, that was a manual, no supercharger, much more bouncy ride. Of course, this has got the stiff sport. It's in sport right now, so I'm really enjoying the stiff ride.
Please bear next left.
Never had a car with this big of tires. Both size and the width are pretty massive tires. The rears are 305s. And hello.
And here's the parking lot.
And here's the good reason I got the automatic 10 transmission. Because that was a pain in the Mustang. On I-95 where we're at, we get a lot of stop and go traffic, and so that wasn't a hard convince by you to go with the A10. Once I test drove the 50-year anniversary, it was a V6, but it was automatic, and just the freedom of
Bear
not
right
having
after
to,
8 miles onto I-95 North.
freedom of not having to worry about that.
So another hamper to the fun today is the fact that, I don't know if you see it in the camera here, let me zoom in a little bit here. The temperature outside is a whopping 39 degrees. So, in addition to brand new car that only had 9 miles on it, brand new tires basically, it's 40 degrees out and we're driving on Goodyear F1 summer tires. And it looks like they've recently brined the road for impending weather, so that just is a recipe for all kinds of out of controlness.
But you know what? The grip so far, from what I'm feeling,
I haven't felt it break loose. How much throttle have you been giving it though? I can't be nearly half throttle. Like a quarter throttle probably. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
I haven't mashed it yet.
If you buried this thing would be sideways.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It usually starts getting clear around Towson and Bel Air, so you know, when we get up there, you know, maybe we'll have to
Yes, sir.
test a couple of spots.
I'll make sure I don't have the camera on the speedometer. Of course, you know the running joke, and it actually took me forever to figure out why people said this, but anytime you're going to go out and do a run or a high-speed thing, it's always in Mexico. And I could never figure it out because I would see posts on the forums.
For bullshit?
Well, the thing was, it was like, you know, I would see posts online and people would be like, oh, I had my Hellcat up to 160 in Mexico. I'm like, you're taking your Hellcat to Mexico? What are you, friggin' crazy? And then I realized the code word was Mexico because you weren't saying that you were actually doing it on a U.S. road. So that if, you know, the authorities were watching your videos, they couldn't, you know, necessarily pick out that where you were doing it at.
Yeah, unless they pass like an
well, yeah, right, exactly,
like
right,
Houston.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Really? You're in Mexico, Houston.
Was that 60 to 91 again, it looked like? Nice. Yeah, this thing definitely pins you back in the seat. I think what you need to do is, before you really get into it with Sherry and Haley in the car, you need to get yourself a camera and have it aimed at them to get their reaction. Dude, there are so many reaction videos online of people in cars like this, the Mustang GT500, you know, the Shelbys, the Hellcats, and they're funny as hell because people just don't know what to expect, and then when you lay into it, especially if it hooks like that, crazy.
Are you still going?
Yeah, it's still going. Oh, nice.
I'm still in fourth, dude.
Nice. So that was what, 60 to 100 in Mexico?
Mexico.
It was a nice quick trip to Mexico. Actually, when you need to do it is when you're going underneath an overpass. That's when you crack the sunroof and floor it.
Got another one?
Sure, hold on, let me get out. This is gonna pin me back. Oh shit, sorry. No, I can't hold it forward.
I'm still not completely mashing it, dude.
No?
Like, there's like a little bit more. I'm almost afraid.
These things are fun as shit, man. Of course, you know, with the camera facing out of the front of the car like that, it's a little hard to gauge, like, what's actually happening. That's why I said...
Were you were like holding it out?
Yeah, I was holding it out, and I was being forced back. I had to keep pushing my arms out to hold it forward. But that's what I'm saying. You need to get yourself a camera mount and get people's reaction, because that's the only way you're really going to get the true effect. Because you get your reaction.
I'm smiling ear to ear. I'm like,
oh man.